What is up, YouTube? This is DEFCON 3 Security coming at you from somewhere here on Spaceship Earth. It's been a while since I've made a video. Everything is good. I just been working a lot, and that's probably going to be the topic today for just my everyday rant and rave security video, and that is working too much. So as you guys know, I work for a new company. They pay me well. It's a new company, and when I say new company, it's roughly 3 years old, okay? Give or take a year. That way I'm not narrowing down who I work for. But yeah, great company, very professional. The problem is it's so new that they're looking for guards to work for them. Now, this is one of the best companies in security you can work for, but I'm also pretty certain that they select their guards very carefully, as it's an extremely professional company, and the pay, like I said, the pay is awesome. But here's the part that gets you. Because the pay is so awesome, they make it hard for you to say no when they say, hey, can you work on Thursday? Can you work on Wednesday? Right? So here I am. I work Thursday, I work Friday, I work Saturday, I work Sunday. Come Monday, I want to take a day off, right? Because it's my day off. I get a call. Hey, any chance you can work midnight? Oh, man, that's a tough one. Well, here's the deal. If you work tonight, graveyard, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars, and plus you're going to be guaranteed 4 hours of overtime, which is time and a half. It's like, how do you say no to that, right? Especially my last company, they got me down to like 32 hours a week, and the pay was crappy, and they weren't paying me time and a half. So of course I keep saying yes, yes, yes. And then next thing you know, you're like, okay, well, at least I have Wednesday and Thursday off. Next thing you know, you get a phone call. Hey, Mike, any chance you want to work Thursday? Where's it at? It's a really easy post. The pay is good. You're going to get time and a half, guaranteed 4 hours, right? So it's a 12-hour shift. And, you're like, damn, that's X amount of dollars for just one day of work. How can I say no? So I've been with this company a little over a month, and that's the problem. I keep saying, how can I say no? And by doing so, I have no free time for myself. I've been working way too much. And then I also run a swimming pool maintenance company. But I did finally crash. Saturday, well, what is today? I think today's Tuesday. Yeah, today's Tuesday. So Saturday, man, I was burned out. Working these 12-hour shifts was starting to kill me. Here's my typical schedule. I got to work in San Francisco, right? I live in, let's say I live an hour away from San Francisco. But in the morning time, to get to San Francisco would be an hour. With traffic, however, it can take up to 3 hours to get there. So instead of leaving my house at 7 o'clock to get there at 8, I leave my house at 5 o'clock to get there at 8. So I got to wake up around 4 something. Now the job is 12 hours. So if I'm working from 8 o'clock in the morning until 8:30 at night, by the time I get home, it's 10 o'clock at night. By the time I get to sleep around 10:30, wake up at 4, I'm only sleeping 5 hours, typically at the most, 6 if I'm lucky. You do this every single day, it starts to burn you out. And these 12-hour shifts are pretty heavy duty. Especially when you come to work in the morning and they're like, hey, 2 places like ours have been hit. What do you mean they've been hit? Well, they shot 2 guards. Just go on Google and type in dispensaries attacked on after election. You'll see what I'm talking about. In Oakland, there were caravans of 20 to 50 people showing up to different dispensaries, fully armed. Bunch of guys jump out, shooting at guards, overrunning the dispensaries, right? So when you work these 12-hour shifts, it's not one of those posts where you just kick back like this and the threat level is low. You're like, man, dude, I got to take these next 12 hours really serious because anything can happen and it is likely to happen. Yes, I have a good team with me. Yes, I have a professional company that has implemented a bunch of measures to keep us safe. But at the same time, in order for those measures to work, you have to be on your game. But here I am working 12 hours, total adrenaline. Next day, 12 hours, adrenaline going through my system. You do that for 5, 6 days in a row, running off of 5.5 hours of sleep. Man, it burns you out. So come Sunday, I'm starting to feel sick. I just remember Sunday morning going to work already exhausted. Like, dude, I am burned out. Then, halfway through the job, I'm like, man, I got to sit down. I'm just tired. By the time I'm driving home, I was so exhausted that when I got to the house, I usually have a ritual of feeding my dogs and my cats. I just threw the food on the floor, just like there, here you guys go. Went straight to bed. Woke up Monday morning, knowing it was my day off, and had all the symptoms of being sick. When I say sick, like body aching, exhaustion, just felt like the flu, but without the sneezing and running nose and all that. I was basically just burned out. My body couldn't handle it anymore. Um, so the problem is I didn't manage my time correctly. And I should have said no to some of these jobs. And my company would have been totally okay with it. I'm working for a company that when you say, yeah, I can't do it, they're like, okay, no problem. So it was partly because I'm new and I want to make a good impression, partly because the pay is so good, it's hard to say no to these jobs. But I also have to remind myself that this job's not going to disappear. You're going to always be making this money. So just because you say no to the job on Thursday, you'll still have Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday to pick up, where you left off money-wise. And that's the thing. People get caught up in this. One of the biggest studies ever done on humans was a survey done on people that were close to death. So they were on their deathbed. And nurses would ask the question, do you have any regrets? And almost 99% of the people that had regrets say, yes, I regret not spending enough time with my friends and family and spending too much time working. That becomes a problem. We live in a society, at least we do here in America, where you have to work. If you don't work, you're going to have a miserable life. I get it. There's social services, welfare, you name it. There's people that live off of government aid, but it's not really a happy life, arguable, of course. Some people would say I'd rather not work and sit back home all day, but that starts to get old after a while. So you're forced to basically work. I was getting a haircut yesterday and the lady said, what's crazy about California is you have to have 2 incomes coming in. So if you're married, your wife's going to work and you're going to work. Unless you're making a lot of money and you can afford all the luxuries of what it takes to live in California, you and your wife's going to work. And if that's the case and your hours don't coordinate with each other, guess what? You will never see your wife. The person that's cutting my hair said that. And that was a current issue with her and her husband. She worked during the day. The husband worked graveyard shift. And I'm like, when do you get to see him? She's like, the last time I saw him, honestly, was 7 days ago. She said, well, I see him, but he's asleep. And then he wakes up and I get to briefly see him for 30 minutes. And then he's off to work and I'm going to sleep. So how long can that go for? I get it. The money looks good. You're stacking up that bank account. But in the end, are you going to be on that deathbed? Are you going to have regrets and say, damn, dude, 60, 70 years went by quick. And I've got a lot of money to pass over to my kids. But I didn't get to experience a lot of what my children went through in life because I was too busy working, or I didn't get to spend enough time with my wife because I worked too much. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, I got a cat trying to come in. You guys have never seen this cat. You ask yourself, have I spent enough time with my cats? My cats need me. Hold on. This is a ridiculous cat. I got to show you her. This is one you've never seen. So I've got random cats coming through my window. This one's name is Cuckoo. See the side of her face? She got attacked really bad. Let me let her go. She doesn't like being held too much. All right, so yeah, guys, that's the problem. People get caught up in work, and they do it for a number of reasons. Some of it is for money. Some of it is for the work. They're afraid to say no. Their company says, "Hey, I need you to work on the weekends and holidays," and you say, "Okay, well, I don't think I can," and you feel like you're going to get fired. Or people will work and try to make themselves look good to their company, not knowing that 2 years from now they're going to be out of that company, and nobody's going to ever remember that they worked that Christmas or that Thanksgiving. For a short period of my life, I worked in retail, and I remember them having us work on Thanksgiving, and I did not want to do it. I was so mad, like, dude, I don't want to work Thanksgiving. And I did because I wanted to look good for the company. But ultimately, do you really think they care that I worked, or do they remember that I worked Thanksgiving? If I would have called in sick that day, sure, I would have heard it the next day. And that's it. A week later, they wouldn't even remember. And I would have still hung out with my family on Thanksgiving. So guys, that's it. As security, a lot of us work weekends. I'm almost at that point where I expect to work weekends, which sucks because all the loved ones in your life, all your friends typically get the weekend off, and it's the only time to hang out with them, but you can't because, guards are expected to work weekends. Or they're expected to work graveyard shift. I don't know what it is about security, but man, there's a lot of security guards, including myself, that they only say, oh, we're hiring, but only for graveyard shift. And that's a whole different ball game in itself. I mean, that you really become isolated when you work graveyard shift, and you lose a lot of time in your life. I mean, so anyways, I had a lot of video topics to bring up, and I will. This week I'll try to catch up and make some more videos. But the reason why you haven't heard from me, it's because I haven't had the time really. And for sure, I thought that would be a good topic. Hell, I haven't been able to talk to you guys because of time. I might as well make a video about guards and how, we kind of let life get by us because we waste a lot of time working. And I do know quite a few guards that have 2 or 3 jobs in security, or they have a security job and a couple other jobs on the side. So, yeah, I don't know, guys, what to say. It's just I'm all over the place. I'm just kind of tired here. But yeah, I don't know. What can I say? I'm trying to come up with a piece of advice, but it's easy to dispel advice and not follow it yourself. I guess the only thought I can leave you with is, remember, one of the biggest complaints that people have on their deathbed is that they did not spend enough time with their family and friends. Money will only take you so far. But I once heard somebody say, all I need is a cup of hot chocolate and a sunrise and my best friend, and that's a perfect day. Or I heard somebody say, all I need is a pizza, 5 of my best friends, and something to laugh at. And that's the best day. And both of those things, that hot chocolate or that pizza, doesn't cost you $80,000. It costs you less than $10. So money is not everything. For less than $10, you can be with a bunch of friends, laughing, having fun. Know your worth, know your value, value your time, and above all, be safe.